For me, the point is not the sexuality, it's the healing. If sexuality is part of the healing, then amazing. But this is not my aim, you know, to arouse or to play sexually. Not at all. It's really about going deep into your past and your journey and your wounding.
Welcome to this new episode, and today I am with Natalie. Hi, Natalie.
Hi.
So, Natalie is a sensual and sexual arts coach, and she inspires people through dance, ropes, and much more. So, it's going to be a very interesting episode for sure. So, thank you for coming here today.
Thank you for having me.
So, can you tell me a little bit more about this sensual and sexual arts coaching?
I guess everything that I do has the same meaning or the same message, you know? So, like you said, I'm guiding people through using ropes, through sensual dance, in erotic explorations. And really, the message is always the same, is how to be more vulnerable, how to allow sensuality to move through you, through us, and find this inner calling to something very deep and something very exposing.
Mm-hmm. I know you're well famous on the island because also of the sensual dances you organize, right?
Right, yeah.
So I think we can delve into different aspects of what you do.
Mm-hmm.
The one I'm more familiar with is the dances because you used to do them before ecstatic dance
Yeah.
and you do them everywhere on the island. And people find a way of connecting,
Right.
feeling each other, feeling
Right.
their presence.
Yeah, dance is definitely something that changed my life very much, especially dancing in a couple with two. And this is the message that I wanted to give to people. I dance Latin dancing, and with Latin dancing, there is a lot of steps involved. And for some people, it didn't work, you know, in order for them to reach this place of flying, like being super connected and flying. It takes a dedicated dancer to reach that level because there's so much technique to learn first. So I wanted to develop something that has no technique, just feeling. And from that was born the art of sensual couple dance, where I encourage people to dance together and be really vulnerable and break what people think to be or what they need to look like or what they need to dance like. So there's a lot of misconception of what sexy looks like or what someone should look like when they are dancing. And actually, the most beautiful part of dancing in a couple is allowing yourself to be seen and allowing another to see you and you being able to see someone else. So if you're feeling shy, dancing shy. You know, if you're feeling sexy, having a safe space that you can really show that, you know, showing all of your sides of you.
I think it's lovely. You know, I am a dancer myself, not so much like a Latin dancer, although I used to be back in the days a little bit. I like ecstatic, but I think any kind of form of dance has the ability, the music, you know, the other people, the energy, has the ability to touch sort of a deeper part of you, like your inner self in a way. And,
Right.
and then you can melt in the dance and really go with the flow and
Yeah.
forget the mind, the ego a little bit and
Right.
just really be present.
Right, right.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. You can really do that. And there's many tools that I work with in order to touch those places. Also to touch places that you are comfortable in being. Like I work a lot with the elements. So the elements of water and earth and fire and air. And with those elements, people can touch places inside of themselves that they are comfortable with. Like for me, I'm very comfortable with the element of water, with the element of air. This is my home, and I can express that very easily, especially with another person. But then when I'm touching now the elements of earth and fire, they are my my not so natural places, but then when that comes out in dance, I can really embody a new kind of me. It's a me that is maybe a little bit more hidden, maybe reserved, maybe because of some wounding or some fears or some shame that doesn't allow me to express that fully. So on this dance floor, in this space, you can really touch new places inside of yourself that all exist, but just have not fully come out because of some kind of conditioning.
What is nicer than human touch or human connection?
Right.
It's one of the most healing aspects of
Right.
nature itself, in my opinion. And I think the modern world, in the modern world, people need more spaces for really feeling the
Right.
other, isn't it?
Right. For me, there is nothing better, really. Connecting with somebody on the dance floor in a place where I can be fully myself, and especially allow myself to be sensual with a stranger, with a stranger. And that's the beauty. It doesn't become personal. It doesn't need to become personal. It's like these two people, these two beings are kind of tools for one another. When the space is held well between them, it's already beyond personal. It becomes transpersonal, and you can really allow yourself to express everything that is hidden inside. And this for me is super healing.
It's lovely indeed. So now, one step forward, let's talk about ropes and shibari in particular.
Yes.
Yes, so this is a Japanese tradition, is that right?
Yeah.
Where did you learn it? How did you get into it?
So I learned it in Israel. And a small story is that when I first heard about it, I was not interested to try. Somebody invited me to a workshop, and I said no. I said, what is it? What is Shibari even? And they told me this is rope, bondage. And I said, no, it's not for me. It's not my thing. And I really didn't go. And a month later, I was again invited to another workshop, and I said, no, this is not for me. And the person that I was in this festival with, he was begging me, please come, I need a partner, na na na. So I actually went, and I was shocked at what I discovered there. Really, really. Also being tied, but also I didn't even consider that it's an option for me to be the one tying. And when I did that, as soon as I held those ropes, something very, very deep shifted inside of me. And when I was doing my first tie, I knew that something very big is about to change for me. I didn't know where it would lead me, but I knew just for me, from my personal experience, from my personal wounding, sexual wounding, polarity wounding, I knew that something big was about to change for me. And through the transition that I made into empowering my masculinity and making it healthy, and something that I was very, it wasn't healthy, it was very suppressed, that side of me, and that really encouraged me to learn something new about myself, a new power that I had, something that I was very ashamed about. And then I dove very deeply into the ropes, and yeah, from there to here is I'm really, the technique of the rope is amazing, and the precision of the art of the rope is amazing, and this is something that I like to do for myself. But when I am guiding rope to other people, my main message is actually not the technique. It's what happens through using the rope. The rope is just a tool. Mm-hmm. Same as the dance. The dance is just a tool. But what you gain behind these tools is the same. Is the vulnerability, is allowing yourself to surrender, allowing yourself to lead, allowing yourself to hold space. They all have the same messages, just using different tools.
I am not familiar directly with it, but of course I did some research, and I know that you've been doing it for a while, indeed. And you're quite famous on the island also for different experiences that you organize for people to connect, come together. And I mean, there's always a therapeutic aspect of it, as you mentioned, for you personally, and possibly for the people that attend your workshops. And also there's more of a playful aspect, and there's also an artistic aspect. Is that right?
Right.
So, can you tell us a little bit more about these layers? I mean, it's the same space, the same workshop, the same dynamic, but it can different people maybe experience it in different ways. Or
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of people, when they hear about ropes, the first thing that they think about is bedroom play, you know, and this is, most people either love that and are attracted to that, or they are repelled by that and they're like, no, this is torture and pain and something that I don't resonate with. So this is usually the first reactions when people hear that I'm playing with rope. They're either very intrigued and want to know more, or they're like, oh my God, this woman is kinky and freaky and weird, going through some hardship in her life.
Well, you know, I think we are in 2021 basically, so which means that we are modern men and women, and particularly in Western countries, but also in Koh Phangan, there is a lot more freedom these days to experience things, right?
In Koh Phangan, for sure, I think people are a lot more open to hearing and experiencing things. But taking it out of Koh Phangan, you know, when I put things on my Facebook story and I realize that my Facebook story is 90% not Koh Phangan, and then I get the reactions and I get the messages and I get the, you know, people's responses. They don't know what to do with all of these images that they're seeing. They're not sure how to translate them. So for me, there is a very different aspect between the artistic side that I really, really love. And I do a lot of photo shoots, a lot of modeling on the island with different locations. I love to incorporate Shibari nature very much. So this is just the artistic, aesthetic, symmetric side of the ropes, which I really, really love. But this is not something that I teach or guide or anything like that. So just for me, going into a dynamic of a lesson or like a session or workshop is we do a lot of the basic technique, going through the safety, going through the depth of what the rope can bring in a couple dynamic, and I very much more touch the energetical transmissions, so the power play. I use the elements too, the elements of touch, the kind of space that can be created in a rope, the kind of play that you want to play with. You know, there is a lot of shame in people, there is a lot of wounding in people, and I find that many times people touch very, very old stories when they are bound and they have nowhere to move. A lot of suppressed anger can come out, a lot of resistance, a lot of sexual playfulness can come out, but you know, from a place of being suppressed. You know, a lot of childhood memories. In my experience of being tied, I met their old child wounds that I completely forgot about, you know, pains that even as a child, I didn't cry enough. And now through the rope, through the person giving me the transmission, they come up and out.
So there's release, a
lot of release, a lot of healing. Like it's usually surprises people the place they go. A lot of people come thinking it's going to be a certain thing and leave very differently, you know, having touched a very different part inside of themselves, you know. But I also have to say that there are many kinds of rope healing, many kinds of energies to play with. A lot of people do play specifically with the sexual side of that, and this is less what I do. It can be included, but it's not the point. For me, the point is not the sexuality, it's the healing. If sexuality is part of the healing, then amazing. But this is not my aim, you know, to arouse or to play sexually, not at all. It's really about going deep into your past and your journey and your wounding.
Sure, absolutely. And also it's an established tradition, Shibari particularly, and I think you have your take on it, as you said, because that's the beauty of Koh Phangan as well.
But the truth is that I really believed that I have something, a gift to give other people without being the best of whatever.
You know, in life we manifest in a way or another because we feel compelled to do it, you know. Like if somebody wants to do a certain profession, move to a certain country, I mean, there is a decision-making aspect of it, depending if you believe in free will or not. But ultimately, you are compelled to manifest in a certain way.
Yeah.
And if you have a very strong attraction towards holding space in a Shibari context, I mean, that's what you gotta do in life, and that's what comes to you. It's a natural predisposition as well, and a compulsion almost, right?
Right.
Same for me to, like, you know, my YouTube channel or like my, you know, fasting and wellness programs. It's just something that I really feel like wanna do, right?
Right.
That's the way the world works.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I love that you can do that and we can do that. And when you're in that place where you're not afraid of what other people think, this is like a place of freedom that no one can pierce and no one can hurt. It's really the ultimate place to be, actually.
I love what you're saying indeed, because I remember, I mean, one thing is rebellion, and rebellion involves some sort of acknowledgement or validation from society you rebel to. Whilst not caring of what people, if people judge you or not.
Right.
That's true freedom, right? That's
Right.
a step forward, I think, compared to just rebellion. Because I remember as a teenager, I would rebel against my parents, but I would do it almost to make them acknowledge of my independence. So I needed validation from them at the reverse, almost. I also want to get into a space where I do what I feel compelled, I do it with integrity, I do it with love, and that's me the way I am. And some people like it, some people don't like it.
Yeah.
You know.
And the beauty is when you get to a point where you don't need to convince someone. It's like I for many years in my family dynamic always had to defend my truth or to make it heard or to need to be understood, and I don't have that anymore. Like, people understand me, don't understand me. I don't have this need to convince. I don't have this need to change the way they think about what I do. And I've been dealing a lot with that recently because I have been putting up on my social pages very unconventional images and videos, and I've been receiving a lot of many different types of messaging back, and I love where it meets me. You know, I do not feel I get a lot of inspiring messages too, but the ones that are like, what the hell are you doing, Natalie? You know, is your mother seeing this? Is she ashamed of you? Like I've been getting really also intense messaging, and I'm really safe and whole with what I'm doing.
Natalie, thank you very much for this little chat. It's been so much fun having you here.
It's been a pleasure for me too. Thank you.
So congratulations for all you've done, and good luck for the next projects. And see you on the island soon.
Thank you.